So I always start by saying we are live and alive. Today with Dr. Slava. How are you?
Thank God everything is great. Living life with all the doom and gloom that people think that there is in the world. The world is still a great place. The world has a lot of light and potential, and we just have to all tap into it, into the goodness. And basically, darkness does not have to be removed. All you have
Mm,
to do is add light, and a small match in a huge dark cave lights up the entire cave, right? So bringing light to the world lights up the world.
I love it. Oh my goodness. What a fantastic way to start Friday with such an awesome message for the world because we all need it. We all need these amazing messages. And Dr. Slava, you and I have been friends for a while now. And how funny is it that you started today with the words of encouragement? And my post today on my WhatsApp groups was attention encouragers wanted because we already have plenty of critics.
Right. Exactly.
And I received a lot of messages, private messages. Hey, Migena, where do you find this? And also, it's like they speak to me. So I know for a fact that you always speak to me. You're so inspirational. And tell us a little bit of who you are. I know you're happily married. You have gorgeous children who are a lot smarter than you, for sure. For sure,
Yeah.
you did a great job there with your beautiful wife. But walk us back to um, Dr. Slava's family and life outside of the professional. When Dr. Slava is just Slava and not doctor.
So, the one thing that I tell people all the time is, you could have everything. You do not have to be an entrepreneur that is lonely by yourself and doesn't have anybody. So, if you're making a lot of money and you're an entrepreneur and you don't have the balance with family and friends, you're not really balanced in life, and your money means nothing, and it's meaningless. It doesn't go anywhere. It has no significance to it. It doesn't have wings to fly, right? It's just stuck, right? So I try to make it a habit that I front load my day with the stuff that I need to do. I accomplish things. I'm goal oriented. I'm very motivated, structured. So I have time with my family. So when I'm not here, like for instance, yesterday, you know,
Mhm.
I went and my daughter and son had volleyball practice, right? And because I'm an entrepreneur, oh well, I can't make it to something like that, but I did. I was there, my whole family was there, and even I spent time practicing with my daughter, helping her with some of her skills while my son was in his practice. I got to do those things with family time. I got to
Mhm.
go. We had dinner. We had all those things. So there's a balance that could be achieved with family, and outside of here, you definitely have to make time for them because although everybody enjoys an entrepreneur's lifestyle and they enjoy the finances that it brings, but if you're not there, what's the point? So there's got to be some point of where you're there and you're present and you're giving of you just like you give to your business. So my family, it's not always equal in time, but when the time is there and you devote that time, they're getting you and your presence, and I'm not always answering phone calls. I'm not doing text messages. That is their time. Their
Mm.
time is with me, and I don't do a lot of business when it's their time.
Um, and do you agree that as the children are getting older, your presence it's gets um, becomes more and more important? I am not saying that you as a parent, as a father, and your presence are not important in your children's life, but I feel that when children are born, mothers usually tend to them, and then as they grow older and they begin to understand, I feel that it's not even about a balance, but it's about being off balance, where you pour more into the kids as you mold them into amazing citizens of the world, and focus a little bit less on the business, because now responsibilities shift, because now they observe you, because We learn by watching, not by being told, because I am a kid for my parents and I'm
Right.
speaking from that perspective. So what do you have to say about that?
So you're completely 100% correct. Right now, more than ever, as they get older, they're teenagers, and I have one out of the house already, that's older. So, modeling is very important. When they were little, I was not, in my opinion, the best father. I wasn't always there. I was starting to build everything at that time. I
No
was
one
gone a
ever
lot.
is. No one ever is. My parents ask me every day, was I a good mom? Was I a good dad? Am
Right.
I a good parent? I promise you, every parent feels that way.
Well, I saw, I look at pictures, one thing about Facebook and some of those is they bring in that history, like the memories, like, and I love that because, and I'm seeing like all those times my kids are all over me, they're pulling on my ears, they're biting my nose, I have them throwing up in the air, we're in the pool, like, so I was there, right? So there was, obviously I was there for my kids, but I remember I had so much help and my wife did such an amazing job with my kids and the grandparents and we had nanny and like so I wasn't like every second I was there but I was obviously I was with my kids quite a bit, but I feel that I wasn't as present because I didn't understand some of the balances in life at that time as I do now, and I didn't have to model as much there. I just had to be there, like the fun guy who throws them around and plays in the pool. I taught them how to ride their bikes. I taught them how to swim for the most part, besides some of the swim schools. So I was there and I taught them some of these life lessons. But as you said, right now, modeling some of the behaviors are more impactful because a 5-year-old is not going to model me as much, even though they try to play, oh, I'm the dad today, I'm the mom today. But now they actually see some of the examples: hard work, dedication, the fitness, the nutrition, the
Mm,
religious aspects. They're seeing these things. Modeling is very, very important,
mm,
more than ever right now as they grow. And I don't always know how the modeling is going to take effect. That could be
mhm.
years down the line. But I know when it comes down, and there will be a time where they're going to face challenges that we face all as adults, that they're going to know, how did my dad handle this? How did and I'm there for them to help them, even though I don't want them to just be little robots. They need to find themselves, but they have an example and they have somebody to go to when the time comes when those decisions, life decisions, need to be met.
I love it. I love that so much. And this is why this is more of an open conversation versus an interview Q&A, because we can take this video today in any direction. We can talk about anything and everything, literally, because you and I have had many conversations about life, about friendships, partnerships, business, family, and you are one of our biggest supporters in the WhatsApp groups, and I don't say that lightly. And your presence, your support, your comments, and the fact that you're there means the world to me, to us, because building community and building strong communities, it's no easy task. And when we find these circles of friends, we don't want to let go of that, but that's also part of modeling, because when we are in the, I think my phone is doing this, I'm going to hang up. Because when we are in our home environments, it's like mimic, mirror, model your parents, and vice versa. But then when we are in the friendship environment, how you show up, it's very crucial, because people say, oh, I don't want to judge, I'm not judgmental. Everybody judges, everybody's watching you. I don't know if that's coming from you or from me, but I hear a sound in the background.
Yeah, I have messages coming in constantly.
It's you. Okay, good. Because I thought it was me for a quick second. So yes, I wanted to say how grateful I am for your presence, because
Thank you.
you sometimes feel that no one is watching, but we are being watched 24/7. Even by the way we say good morning or not say good morning, like everything is being studied. So I use you as a model, uh, in the outside world. I see how classy you are. You and I have met at 10X. We are part of the 10X community. And you've always been constant. You've always been classy, approachable, always have this heart of giving. And that's what leads me to the next question. What kind of a doctor are you? Like, can you walk us through that? Because I wouldn't even know how to describe your responsibility. So let us all know.
So I'm a doctor of physical therapy. Uh, I'm PT stands for pain and torture. So I basically inflict pain and torture people all day to help them feel better. Now, counterintuitively, it
What?
sounds like right. So, you know, physical therapy, like a dentist, we sometimes have to cause pain before we help you get better. So, for instance, you know, it says statistically that 95% of the world's population, not just Los Angeles or New York or California, or 95% of the world will have back pain at least once in their life. And statistically, almost half of that population will have some sort of recurrent back pain. We're talking about billions of people with back pain. So somebody comes to me sometimes on a gurney, from ambulance, and they can't move and they can't walk and they have such severe pain. And then they leave my clinic walking. Now, I don't have a magical wand. I don't have a fairy stand next to me, like sprinkling fairy dust that make people better. Thank God, I've learned a lot of tools about the human body and how the body responds to certain modalities. So by helping people, by putting my hands on them, stretching, exercise, corrective things like posture, we get people to change their lives. Exactly. There you go. Kill two birds with one stone is what I say. So when I walk into the office,
Oh
even
my
my employees, like they all of a sudden they have better posture, stuff like that. So, the influence is greater than just a quickie band-aid. So it's not just a massage. I'm not a massage therapist. It's not a personal training. I'm not a personal trainer. We help people as a team to get things moving that need to be moved. We get things stabilized that need to be stabilized. We get stretched what needs to be stretched. And basically, the biggest fundamental aspect of what we do is we help people correct dysfunction. So
God.
whatever dysfunction they may have physically, and 75% of my job is actually mental too. So I'm a makeshift psychologist. When people have pain,
What does that mean? Say that one more time. A what psychologist?
a makeshift, like a pseudo psychologist, uh, not a real not a psychologist that actually has a degree in psychology. But we have so much psychology background of our education that we work mentally with people. We change people's mindset and habits.
So
So
you're not a drug dealer.
no, I do not prescribe drugs. I do not inject people. I do not cut anybody open.
I like
Basically,
you more now. Now I like you more
see,
because I don't even take a single vitamin. Like I'm against anything and everything unless it's a little sweet, and maybe you'll
right,
convince me a gummy bear, perhaps. But that's
yeah.
it.
So, and I've talked to you before. You're a very natural girl. Like you don't like any of that stuff. No chemicals or stuff like that. And
Look, Albanian tea. Sorry, I need to move this. This
there
is
you
like
go.
50 different herbs from Albania. They're from Albanian mountains, Albanian soil. I carry them with me every single year. We do this, and for the most part, live on this stuff. But anyways, back to you. It's not about me. It's about you. Go
No,
ahead.
that was excellent because all natural. I'm an all natural kind of doctor. So I help people every which way we can naturally. I help prevent surgeries. I help prevent drugs. I help prevent all these different things that people use sometimes that are all passive. And I help people take an active approach, an active role into their own healing and well-being. So if I could teach enough people to stretch properly, to work on their posture, to work on biomechanics, it
Every time
really
I
helps
say
them.
that word, I'm like being reminded.
Exactly.
This is the
See, it
worst.
works just by directing people to themselves, and anything that you can do to help yourself is going to help you in the long term too. So it's not a band-aid fix. Physical therapy is not just let me help you for a few minutes, boom, 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 you're out, and then you have to see me for the rest of your life and you're dependent upon me. We ethically and morally, we have an obligation as physical therapists to help people help themselves too, not just depend upon us for your care. So some doctors are like, you come to me every few months, I'll inject you and you're good, right? I don't want that. I want you to be able to end up going to the gym. I want you to change your life. I want you on a tennis court. I want you playing golf. I want you doing Pilates and yoga. I want you doing everything. I'm going to help you with that. I'm the foundation for that. But I want you to eventually, if you need me, I'm here. But I want you to eventually be able to do things for yourself also and help your own healing process, because prevention is a lot of times, most of the times, the best medicine.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. Now, are you seeing patients only in person, or do you think that this physical therapy slash non drug prescription help can be done virtually? Like how do you apply your knowledge, your skills to help as many people as possible?
Right. So we primarily see people live.
Okay.
I've done consultations, I've done Zooms, I've done stuff. I don't do it on a grand scale because I have my most impact because being a doctor of physical therapy, I'm very hands-on, doing a lot of manual techniques. So you'll benefit from me for my correction and exercise and guidance. But when I put my hands on you, you'll feel a little better as I move things that don't want to move. I can't do that on Zoom, right? And I could teach you all day, but I give an example like this to my patients all the time. If I take a rubber band and I put it in a freezer with a bunch of knots in it, I could help you because that rubber band will stretch, right? I will tell you how to stretch, but who's going to take the knot out? Who's going to help you take the rubber band out of the freezer? And
You
your
are.
fascial system and your muscular system are very
Mm,
much like that rubber band that
mm.
is stretching, but it's not very efficient because it has a bunch of knots in it and it's frozen, right? So I help you take the rubber band out of the freezer. I help you take some of the knots out, and now the rubber band stretches again with more efficiency.
Wow. I
So
love
that's
it.
very helpful to people.
I feel like we're in a doctor's office with all those sounds in the background.
Yeah.
I think you did that on purpose to give us a visual of what it is like to be in Dr. Slava's live, tick, tick, tick,
Well,
tick, like every 2 seconds. My goodness, Dr.
I'm in a lot of different groups. So a lot of groups. I have people in Israel. I have people in Australia. So I do business all over the country with my other businesses. So I have people texting all the time. If I'm not on my phone for a period of time, I've text messages come in constantly every minute or so.
Wow. Now, where are you located, Dr. Slava? Where do you live?
I'm in Los Angeles, the Los Angeles area. I have outpatient clinics here in Los Angeles. The company name is Back to Health Physical Therapy. So we're
Back
here to help. Back
back
to Health,
health.
BACK, the number two health, PT.com. You could get access to the clinics. We're here to help people. We're in 4 different major regions in Los Angeles area, including Orange County. So we're trying to help people everywhere.
So back to health
Yes,
pt.com.
yes,
I really need to make sure, is this the correct one?
that is correct.
Perfect. We're going to leave this here for a while so people can check out your website, book sessions with you, and not only that, recommend others who are in need, because I feel that we all, I think one thing is for sure, everybody in the world that's a human being has a back. So chances are you will need physical therapy because you have a back. Unless you are someone with no back, then that's a different story. But I feel like you are in you are in a position to help a lot of people. And how, oh my goodness, how do you feel when you have a patient that comes to you with excruciating pain, feeling hopeless, and then you bring them to that feeling hopeful? Like, describe like that satisfaction aspect of being a solutionist.
It's one of the greatest things in the world. Like I said, I've had people come in on a gurney. They could not move. They're in pain. They're crying. They're angry. They're upset. They hate the world. They hate everybody. They come into the office, and I have to, unfortunately, inflict some pain because stretching that kind of person, moving that person, even transferring that person is painful. But then over time, seeing, and to back up, to digress, I establish hope almost immediately. I tell them, look, you're in pain. You have these things. However, we're going to work as a team now. You're not by yourself. You do not have to do this alone. You have a whole team of people trying to help you right now. So when we do things to help them do some basic exercises, to help them put some oil in those gears, to help them learn how to stretch and move, all of a sudden, the things that they feared, they start to feel a little better. Now, immediately, I have a famous saying, you are not made of glass. I
Mm,
promise you, you are stronger than you think. And if you have able to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, you're able to move a little bit, even if it's with pain, there's so much hope and so much promise that you do not have to live this way. And as soon as you understand that you're not made of glass and that you're tougher than you think, you're going to withstand just a little bit more time. And with time, we could get you going and help you get more functional, better. Even if your pain subsides a little bit, the quicker I could get you moving and standing up and not being relying on the gurney, next time, even with this pain, even with a walker, even whatever, you drove in by yourself. And let's say you could move just a little bit more. You could get from the kitchen to the bathroom to your bed. You could get out of the house. You could get into your car. You could get in and out of the car. So now you're not reliant on 911 or an ambulance service to take you to physical therapy. Tell me if that's better than even somebody who's fit to be able to run a marathon. I have a feeling most people would agree that being able to move independently on your own is greater accomplishment than a 26-mile run. I can't hear. We lost sound.
oh, I was muted. Oh my goodness, I love that you're muted. Um, I like the "You are not made of glass." David Jones actually typed it for us, and I have highlighted it here. Thank you, David, for your help, because I want to capture as many of these amazing shares from Dr. Slava. And I'm working from my phone here, and this is why the Ask Migena show, it's unfiltered, unedited, raw, the way he and I
The
would have a
best.
conversation without, right? This is a conversation that I want people to see and remove the camera. This is how Dr. Slava and I communicate, even when we're not on a social media platform. And I want to bring that same magic on social media, and at the same time include all of us. And if anyone that is listening to Dr. Slava has a specific question related to your health, or if you need any tips, please post them on the comments, and I will ask them as they are coming our way. And in the meantime, um, how how do you see your business? Do you see your business scaling, or do you feel like what you have built so far works great, and you are now focusing on other passions? Because I do know you have a lot of them, and some of them are very similar, if not the exact same as mine.
Yep.
And like, how do you see your time being invested into the near future?
So, you know, I'm doing patient care because I want to, not because I have to, which really changes the dynamics. So I probably put in more patient care hours throughout the week than most entrepreneurs do even though they don't have to. So, I teach this all the time, even though I'm not following the same advice as I usually teach in the aspect of, I want you to work on your business, not in your business. The problem is when you're a doctor and you've committed to helping others. Like every business I have pretty much somehow helps other human beings with something, right? So I can't really leave that. If my personal work ethic and my personal goals are to help others, then how do I leave patient care? Even though, to be honest with you, I'm always growing and scaling. I'm always, we have 4 clinics, thank God. We've been blessed that way, and we're going to open them up more. We have the challenge now of finding good doctors. The only reason I don't have 100 clinics is because it's hard to find good doctors to work. Honestly,
Mm.
it's hard to find employees. So
And what's
employees are key.
Dr. Slava, I'm sorry to interrupt you because you said a key word. It is difficult to find good doctors. Can you please define what makes a doctor a good doctor? Like, what do you
Well,
look for? Because we are on this global platform as you and I are speaking right now, and I'm sure there may be someone that's out there looking for the right employer.
right.
So this could be a great way for you and them to attract each other. So please let us know what that means.
Okay. Well, that means is they have honor, integrity, right? Beyond money. So what's happening right now, unfortunately, to nurses and doctors is they're selling out instead of being somewhere where they want to work. They're working for registries or these temporary gigs in hospitals, stuff like that, because they're setting up contracts, and in that way they're making more money than an outpatient you know person could provide. They want to work for me. They love working in an environment such as mine to help people, but they sell out to some of these hospital systems, places they don't want to work. They're not treated well. However, they're paying more money. So I need doctors that are beyond, just a few extra bucks per hour. They want to set up roots. They want to help people. They're passionate about helping people, and they actually will be happier to work where somewhere they want to work instead of somewhere they have to work just because they pay them a few extra dollars. So we're looking for people to join a team, a family environment, to help others heal and get better. Unfortunately, they're wrapped up and get swooped up in somewhere they don't want to be, even though it's more money, and it sucks. They hate it. And I've talked to these people, but they just have to do it for the money, for the extra few bucks. And when I say good doctor, meaning when they put some of that aside and are happy to be part of a team that helps others, even if it's few dollars less. I cannot compete with a massive hospital system. I just can't. They offer more money than I can for actually better work, to be honest with you. We have a lot of benefits that we help other people and help our employees, but I can't compete with a big hospital system. I just can't. It just doesn't work that way. So I need you to find your ground, your morals, your ethics, and do what you want to do and be where you want to be. And it's not about the money.
It it never was about the money, and it will never be about the money. And I'm a big believer that every time I walk around the house, I'm walking to the subway station in New York, or maybe be on the plane, and I don't feel as enthusiastic. I go back into my mind and heart and run in a self-analysis, like what's happening? Why is it that uh, not that you necessarily lost the spark, but why has it faded a little bit, right? Or diminished or contracted? And immediately I pick up the phone and call the first person that comes to mind. Oh my God, 360 degree. I am not a doctor. I am not prescribing. I'm a business doctor. I'm not I'm a business doctor. I'm a heart doctor. I would like to believe I'm a mind doctor too, at certain degree, but not certified by a human. I think I'm certified by God, which is the ultimate certifier for us all. Oh my goodness, that was so good. David Jones, are you taking notes? Write that down. Where is David Jones? That was really good what I said just now. And
By
I'm
the way,
kind of,
David's awesome. I love it. I love the comments.
I love
David,
David. David's
you're
the
a cool
best.
dude, man. I like you already.
David is my clubhouse friend. All my clubhouse friends are amazing. So, don't you agree that when you do something for someone else, it's the highest form of reward. It surpasses money. I always say, check on your heart account. How full is it? And do you have daily deposits on that heart account? Because the beautiful thing is, it doesn't have a limit. That heart account, it does not have a limit to say you can only have this account with 1,000,000 lovers, 1,000 lovers. Actually, it expands. And the sad part is the heart account, when there isn't enough love, it doesn't contract. It's just an empty, it's a void space. So what you need to do is fill it, because it's not like the stomach that expands and contracts. Heart, when you're fulfilled, and then at some point you feel like something is missing, it's because there's a void there. And you know how to fill the void. And for you, Dr. Slava, from what I'm understanding, it's above and beyond the knowledge that you have and you apply to help others. You actually said it. I want to do it. I don't have to do it. I have a choice to make 10x, 100x more if I were to focus on real estate, that you and I have so much in common. Or you being an actor and fully focus on being a movie star, which you already are a movie star in a lot of movies, but you can do more of that because it gives you a personal satisfaction. But are we truly fulfilled where we are only being personally satisfied, or do you want to be globally satisfied? So I'm just throwing a lot out there for the moment, but I just feel like I needed to share also my perspective, and the way for me to say to you that I completely agree with you, that when we're looking for good people, I say for my book, we have a book, Real Women in Real Estate, and I tell all of the ladies that we meet on the Zooms, we're not looking for people. We're looking for the right people. We are not, or when I am looking for investors to be part of our real estate investments, I am not looking for investors. I am looking for the right investors. I am looking for the right partners, and looking for good staff, good doctors. It's actually a beautiful demand. You're not being selfish by saying good, because you should want the best, because you have high ethics, high integrity, and you have a family business, and you want people to be part of a business. And that's what's missing in a lot of the organizations, that unity and that love, and the feeling of being a person versus a number. And when you look for that, you will attract it, because that's who you are. So I feel like it's better to have 4 solid clinics than have 40 and lacking and losing them all in the long term. So I love that so much. And since I already shared about the movies, can you talk to us about that? Because of course, I love TV. Like, oh my God, like everything TV, everything TV. So when did that start for you?
So, it's funny, with all my different business ventures, I always meet unique people like and I meet such amazing people through different avenues. Through my patients, obviously, many people coming in. I've met a lot of people. So through my financial coaching business, I get questions every day. And one time, it was probably a couple years ago that I got a producer that makes films ask me some financial questions. And obviously one of the questions that you have back is, well, what do you do? How can I help you? How can I serve you better? How can I provide value to your life? And I don't know what possessed me through our conversation as I'm helping him is, what is it like to invest in a Hollywood movie? Like, I'm kind of curious, because back in the day when I was in school, I was involved with some acting and I did some projects until they finally sat me down one day in my doctorate program and said, you miss any more days due to acting and modeling and stuff like that, you're going to have to pick a new career, not being a doctor. So I decided the right way, and I gave all that up. And many years later, as I'm doing this financial assessment thing, is what's it like to be an investor in Hollywood movies? And he sent me in a whole perspective. And I read through it. As a businessman, I read through the potential of Hollywood return. And I'm like, this sounds interesting. So as we started talking, more hands you shake, the more money you make. So I went down there. They invited me to the studio. I went down to the studio and they pitched me a movie. and they said, this would be really cool for you. Why don't you invest in this movie? It's not a massive budget. What do you think about this? I read through the script. I was like, cool. These are good people. I like them. They're not, this nonsense in Hollywood. They're not fake. They're really good people. I said, okay, I'll tell you what, I'm going to invest in your movie. And as a joke, I said, since I'm the boss and I'm the executive producer, should I have a role in this movie too? I'm a little bit of I'm a little bit dynamic personality. And they said, of course there's a role for you. So that's how that project started.
Oh my God.
And
I'm so
so
excited.
the movie Static Codes, it's out. It's on Amazon. It's on YouTube. So
What's the title?
Static Codes.
I don't know how to spell. I'm Albanian.
That's STATIC
ATIC.
Codes.
Code plural.
Yes.
Okay.
So we have some really good people in that movie. Dr. Slava's in that movie. It's a great project. It just came out. We had a movie premiere 2 weeks ago. So it's really
I
good.
wasn't invited. I was not invited to the premiere.
It's in LA. It's in
Do you
LA.
hear this world? This is my friend. He has a movie premiere and I'm not invited. Okay. Anyways.
I promise you in the next one you'll be invited, because the next movie, it's called Stealing Pulp Fiction. Just like it sounds, everybody knows who Pulp Fiction is. It's a really good cast. It's a really good crew. This one's a comedy. The other one's basically a sci-fi thriller. The comedy is pretty funny. The main character is great. Wait until you see that. They have me as like a mobster, gangster. Go figure. They put tats on me, and I'm doing different roles. It's pretty funny.
So Static Codes.
Static Codes, yes.
Is this available on Amazon Prime?
It's available on Amazon. It's available on YouTube. It's
okay.
fantastic.
Okay, because I'm typing notes again. Real, raw, unfiltered, unedited. We're doing this live. Now, are you a producer there? Or are you an actor?
I'm an executive producer and I'm an actor. I'm an actor who did not charge myself for any money.
I love it. I love it. But what I hear? I hear you starting as an investor.
Yes.
How important is it to invest, Dr. Slava?
It is absolutely vital. Look, here's the bottom line. When you talk about the major people that have come up with concepts and ideas, I can name 100 people that are great financial investors that teach people every day. Look, as an employee, which 85% of Americans are, there's nothing wrong with it. If you're a W-2 employee, you are important, you're amazing, you're great, you will never be rich. You will never be financially independent. You will not be a financially independent as a W-2 employee. It just doesn't happen. You work hard, you're amazing, that's great, but you will not be rich and have your time back because you're busy building somebody else's fortune, right? So with that being said, being W-2 is awesome, but if you don't find ways to make you passive income, money where you're sleeping, things that grow with compound interest, you will not ever have your time back. So investing is absolutely vital. It's the number one principle. One of the best investments you can make is real estate, life insurance. There's things you could do that grow your money while you're sleeping. Now, what people don't understand and they don't have a vision on, and you as a coach and you being a real estate person, you could understand this. People want things that happen overnight. And I'm telling all you people right now, I'm a financial guy, I'm an entrepreneur, I have multiple streams of income. You will not get rich overnight. All these things are fantastic for long-term success. They will not be overnight. If you're a W-2 person and you're making some money, it's good to invest. It's great to invest. But just understand, it's going to take time to build. Just like a seed that becomes an apple orchard, it started with that seed. And if you water it, and you give it sunlight, and you give it soil and nutrients in the soil, it will grow. It will grow, and it will reap fruit, but it will not be overnight. Just understand that everything you do now is down the line. And that's okay, because you could continue working and you could be a great employee, but at the same time, invest, invest, invest,
Mm,
invest.
I love it. I couldn't agree more. And I love that you bring this point because I was a W-2 employee for 2 decades living in this country, and recently I resigned to join the entrepreneurs out there who are fully like full-time entrepreneurs. But I also am a big believer that if you are very happy on a W-2, for example, I am a doctor and I work in one of the facilities with Dr. Slava. I get paid very well. I am very well respected, so I get a lot of compensation, heart-wise, emotionally, and of course even physically, because I'm surrounded by other doctors. And eventually, when you surround yourself with people who care about their health, you eventually will be one of those people who will be healthier than you were before. So there are a lot of benefits. And for anyone out there who has a W-2, I always say, I am not saying that quitting and doing something completely different and drastic, it's the answer for the most part. It is not. Now, don't use as an excuse the fact that you work for Dr. Slava as a doctor, that you now cannot uh, invest and work towards your generational wealth of having passive streams of incomes, more than one, because all you have to do is ask. And this is why my show is called AskMigena Show. This is why my website is AskMigena, because I feel that um, I am where I am today, and I feel like it's always the beginning on a daily basis because I ask questions.
Right.
Do I ask the right questions all the time? Absolutely not. Am I learning to ask better questions? I believe so. But at least, am I leading with questions? Yes, I am, and I have. So, as a W-2 person working for Dr. Slava, making great income, you can actually invest most of that money into real estate or anything and everything that speaks to your heart where you feel comfortable, and you'd be surprised because time will go by anyways.
Right.
Instead of us parking our money in bank accounts and feeling that it's safer there, when we all know that's not the case and it loses value, you out there as an 18-year-old working 2 3 jobs, and I'm speaking to me when I was working 3 jobs, if I were to be surrounded by people and environments that had the investing mindset, I would be speaking a different conversation today, and not this conversation. And it took me almost 2 decades to come to my senses and pretty much cancel everything else and fully on study, because you have to study. You can't just go blindly and become an investor. And in your case, being an actor, it's because you were an investor first, you were a consumer first, and you interviewed the teams, you interviewed the the, the industry, and then you made that ultimate decision, that calculated decision, that based on what you've seen, this may be or may not be a good investment, but at least
Right.
you did your homework. And how important is it, Dr. Slava, to do your due diligence before you jump into any investment? And
It's
how do you what's your process?
so a lot of it is instinct at this point. You know, I
Mm,
read people really well. I know who's a good person. That's why you and I have gotten close, because you know you have the biggest heart out there. You know, someone who's become such an entrepreneur and such a student of life that you are. You know, you could tell somebody's heart. So you know, when you bring me business deals, when you come to me, I know that this is legit. When McGinnis says to me, listen, I have this thing, I know it's good, because you have to invest in people, not just the product. So, you know, doing your due diligence, it's not just about what it is, but who you're working with. And I've passed up on business deals. I almost get a business deal almost every day.
you
And
do.
I look at the person, you know, and I've been in real estate deals where I've gotten burned and I've got screwed, even though I thought they were good people. So vetting is a really good idea, and finding your resources to vet people is very, very important, because sometimes, it looks too good to be true, and sometimes it is, and sometimes it is that good. And
Mm,
it's also the people.
mm,
So doing your due diligence and doing your homework is very, very important. But number one is you have to look at the person you're dealing with. Is that person on a level of ethics, morality, and integrity? I don't care, and I've passed up on good deals because the person is a massive scumbag. And I know that, let's say we do make some money together. Is this the person I want to spend my time with and my resources with? Even if I'm making money, I don't think so. So I've passed upon deals because I
mhm.
just don't believe in the person. And sometimes I've gotten to deals where I just believe in the person and the product will sell itself because the people on it are just amazing.
I love it. I love that because that's my answer. I am approached quite often about participating in deals, and I'm asked, where do you invest, like what asset class? And I said, I don't invest in deals. And they're like, what do you mean? I see you all over the world. I say, yeah, I invest in people. And that's my answer each and every time. Even last night I was on a call with some awesome friends who invited me to be on their GP team for a fantastic real estate deal, which is crazy because I happen to walk the property. And what an honor! Like, what an honor to be seen and to be offered an opportunity to help my ecosystem. Because when someone is inviting me and is telling me, or rather showing me, this is the number, this is what we're projecting, my mind is going, wow, me being this in this key position is going to help. And I start to count because we can only bring so many on board, right? Because it's limited spaces. And I always make note of who comes to mind. And I am so happy that people invite me for opportunities because I become a stronger source each and every time because I'm thinking from a place of service to others, not, wow, I'm going to be a GP. Big deal. Big deal. Like, really, GP means a general partner. But what it means to me as a human, what it means to me, it means here is someone who has gifted you and honored you and trusted you with another opportunity that you can now take and go out in the world and reach out to those 5 or 10 people that you know are in a position but may not necessarily be ready to take action because of limited beliefs or the simple fact that they don't know that that opportunity exists. So now that's my responsibility. So being a GP, it's being responsible, being giving, being generous with a share, and then after you have done all that you can possibly do some more.
Yeah.
Be annoyingly persistent. And I'm so good at that. I annoy people and I know it. And I am so proud. I claim it. Great. I will annoy you again and block me. The only way for you and I not to communicate is because you blocking me. Because
Right.
if you don't block me, I will continue to annoy you in a very loving way. And this is why I love that you also agree with us in, of course, investing in people because it comes back to us. You feel more protected, you feel wealthier because now you have created these opportunities for others to be financially successful. And it goes back to honoring source. But who actually gave this opportunity to you? Because if someone didn't come to me and said, we chose you to go and help 5 lives or 10 lives, I don't take that lightly.
Yeah.
I really don't. And this is why I say that I may not be a certified doctor or Dr. Migena, but I feel that every single human being in the world is a doctor.
Yeah.
Every single human being is a doctor. You can heal as a 5-year-old with the most innocent smile. you can heal as a 90-year-old when they touch your hand and you feel like they have transferred over 90 years of knowledge, only if you're open to receive it, and everybody in between. So I know I'm not in this journey alone, but I'm on the journey of speaking to people out there and letting them know that, hey, you matter. You
Yes.
matter, and you are so powerful only if you give yourself permission to see yourself in action, going back to the movies, action, and you back into character or into that different role. So many lives would be so much better, and super excited that you and I align so much in so many levels. And Dr. Slava, if you were to pick between fully investing in real estate and fully investing in stock market, which choice do you think is best?
Every day of the week, every single day of the week, without holidays, I'm investing in real estate. You
Okay.
know, listen, the stock market has a history. It does. Yes, there's been housing crashes. Yes. But I promise you, in the long term, yes, the stock market will give you X amount of dividends or return on your investment. It's up, it's down. But there's nothing out there more tangible that you could touch and that you could have and you could see is real estate. It's before the stock market, there was real estate.
Right.
After the stock market, there's going to be real estate. People need to live somewhere. Always. People need a place to stay and live. We've been building houses before Noah's time, right? So,
Mhm.
real estate, real estate, real estate, real estate. I'm sorry to tell you, you could argue with me all day. Yes, you stockbrokers are amazing. Thank God for you. Great, 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 great. Real estate is the place to be. It's not going anywhere. There's going to be some ups, there's going to be some downs, but overall, there's ups. Even in down market, when you work with amazing people like McGenna, they will find and vet things for you that will still work for you, even in a down economy, even when the real estate is down. There's always good deals in real estate. Always, always, always. And it doesn't matter who's in power. I'm not going to get political, but guess what? Real estate still works. And there's been no greater wealth achieved than real estate than in any other industry
Mm,
ever, ever in history.
mm.
Sorry, the most people that have made grandiose wealth or continued their wealth or added to their wealth has been through real estate. That will never change again because people need to live somewhere. It's a need that 100% of people need. It's not going anywhere, and you should invest in it.
I I'm going to say something, and I know you're going to smile at this. You mentioned Noah.
Yeah,
What comes to mind with Noah and is, for God's sake, he built the ark and brought on board the humans and the animals, and the boat was real estate, and that's what saved the world. So think of the ark as a crucial piece of who we are today. Fast forward, because he builds
yeah,
the ark, he saves everyone. And then when you think of a real estate, we will continue to build as the world expands,
yeah.
population wise, and it's not going anywhere. It's never gone anywhere. The only thing we cannot reproduce, even maybe there's a few exceptions like Manhattan, you can create a little bit of land, but that's just, my goodness, that's insanely difficult. But we can build with what God has gifted us with, the land, and there isn't a bigger guarantee of investing than in real estate, because Noah invested in the ark, and he saved, oh my God,
Humanity.
humanity. And that's what comes to mind each and every time for me. And that's why when you said Noah, I'm like, oh my goodness, I have to share how I see Noah versus modern day Noahs, right? Like
Right.
us creating, I know I'm getting a little too philosophical.
It's amazing. He created a condo on the water. I mean, listen, it
The
was
cruise, the cruise.
the cruise, the all-time cruise. That just basically changed humanity.
Oh my God, I love it. I love it. I love it. This is amazing. So now, okay, everybody knows now we love real estate. Uh, you said that you are a business financial coach.
Yes.
Do you have a program? Do you like for someone that I know for a fact will need your help? Is it the same website they go where there isn't a tab that they click and it directs them into a one-on-one conversation with Dr. Slava, or do you have like an old-fashioned approach? DM me on LinkedIn and let's connect. Like how can people find you for that specifically for the coaching aspect and anything and everything, of course?
So my financial company is called Health and Wealth Partners Inc.com. That's where you get a lot of financial education. I have a lot of free financial advice there. Personally, the best way to get a hold of me in some way is to DM me through Dr. Slava on Instagram, Dr. Slava on Facebook, LinkedIn. It's all the same. People can find me. People DM me to get some, basically some help, some answers. I answer questions for free all the time. Do I have a program? Yes. Uh,
Is this the correct one?
Health and Wealth Partners Inc.com. That's correct.
Perfect.
So
This is for
people
everybody.
could get specific financial advice there, life financial through DMs. So people have questions that lead to other questions, lead to other questions. So I'm not just a financial company. I'm not just a doctor. I'm a people person. So if anything I could do to add value to your life. So one of my personal goals or my personal core value is to touch as many people's lives as possible to make their lives better after they met me than before me. So
Mm,
that's a core value. That doesn't mean I'm charging you every single penny that you have to talk to me or get to know me. No, find me, talk to me. I'm happy to answer questions. Do I have a coaching program? Yes, but that doesn't mean you necessarily have to be coached by me immediately. Let's get to know each other. Find me, talk to me, use me as a reference, use me as a resource. I'll be happy to help you. If you want and if you need further to become a financial partner with me, financial advice and help, I have platforms and opportunities to help people in every single way. And being a Russian Jew, basically, I have connections with every other industry possible known to man. That's what we do. That's how we do. We're connectors, just like you, Megena. You come from the old school. You come from that different cloth. You're a connector of the most. You're the hostess of the mostest. So that's what us like people do that have been through such a history of a people, that we connect other people, we connect industries. How can I help you? How can I service you? How can I provide value in your life? That's what we do.
I love it. I love it. And you met my dear friend Glenn Morshower briefly in Texas, and he calls me a Jewish grandmother.
Yeah.
And I look at him. I said, "Well, thanks for the compliment. Mine is the age. I mean, seriously." I said, "But please elaborate because I don't understand that." He says, Jewish grandmothers, all they do amongst many other things that they do is they match people. They bring people together. He's like, "You're a matcher. Like you're exactly that. You're a Jewish grandmother." I was like, "Oh my God, I'm touched." And I tell everybody that the way Glenn has observed me over the years, of course, it's and I own it. Like I'm like, yes, I am that. I am a Jewish grandmother.
So
Absolutely.
it's beyond that though.
Oh,
So, I have had Jewish grandmothers, God bless her soul, and my mother-in-law and my mother are Jewish grandmothers, and I treat many Jewish grandmothers. It's a compliment in that the heart, it
mhm.
goes back to the heart. It's not the age, it's not the concept of a grandmother. It's the concept of what is a Jewish grandmother.
Yep.
There's no better caring person on the planet of human beings that they're in charge of right? That come to them for comfort.
Oh,
It's the heart. The
grandmother.
heart is what makes the Jewish grandmother. The
Mhm.
heart is what makes the Jewish grandmother what they are. It's what they do that gives all of them selflessly
Mhm.
to the to the people.
I
And
love it.
that
I love,
is the amazing thing about a Jewish grandmother. It's the heart.
I love it. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I know, Dr. Slava, your time is very limited because you are pulled in 50 different directions. It's 2 p.m., which is, I think, 11,
Yeah.
11 a.m. your time. Do you have time, 5 more minutes to go through a few quick questions, or do we hang up?
No, absolutely. I'll give you, we have a few more minutes, but
Okay.
I do admit that I have appointments lined up before I shut off the day. I'm a observant Jew, so we have Shabbos, and I prepare for that. But I line up everything on Fridays, like in the front end. That way, the back end, God said to relax. I'm gonna relax.
I love it. I love it. So uh, I am I'm a big fan of the word instinct. And earlier in the conversation, when I asked you how do you vet the teams that bring forward opportunities for you to become an investor or partner, and you used that word, you said some of it, most of it is on instinct. Can you can you describe or define instinct? And I ask this question a lot lately. Define the word instinct the way, pretend I'm a 5 year old and I just heard the word instinct. Like, how would you describe it so even a 5 year old can understand it?
So before I get to the 5-year-old,
Okay.
or the people who are older than a 5-year-old,
Okay.
being a doctor and having so much background of tapping into people, some of it is I read body language. I
Okay.
read I read expressions and body language. I really tap into somebody's energy. I'm not screwed a lot because I know people, and I could tap into their energy, and I know when it's ugly or fake or this like that, and I know when it's real. So that being said, when I describe it to a layman or a 5-year-old, it is that feeling that you get from somebody. And I'll be honest with you,
Mm.
kids have great instincts. If you know, yeah, even dogs have great instincts. So
Facts. Facts.
little kids, if you notice, sometimes they're like out of nowhere, like they never do this before. They usually don't like people, and they're on somebody and hugging them and kissing them and asking them questions. Kids have good instincts, and some people they're like, I'm not. So I would say, even to the 5-year-old, how do you feel when you approach that person's field, their energy field, and when you
Mm.
tap into the energy field? Do you want to run and hide, or do you want to get to know them better and you're kind of sort of attracted to it? So
Mm.
even little children are attracted to somebody's energy field, even though they cannot comprehend what that is. And as adults, sometimes we can't comprehend what that is. How do people make connections in relationships? So there's something there. And if your first instinct is run, run, run,
Run.
sometimes you're wrong. But most of the time, if you have that feeling, run, you should probably run. So just like a child with that innocence and doesn't have that intellect, if they're running, you should run too, because there's something there that is just not, and sometimes they could be a good person. That doesn't mean they're an ugly person. But sometimes your energy, you will not connect for whatever reason. And if that's your instinct, then there's something there and there's something you should move away from. So there's a natural inherent that's beyond intellect. It's a super rational connection, a super rational feeling that you get that makes you either connect or withdraw. It's either
Mm.
repel or attract. These
Mm.
are ions. These are energy fields. These are different things that are, explainable in religion. They're explainable through science, and it truly does exist. And you should follow that. Instinct is very important. If you need to run, you should probably run.
I love it. Wow, that was great. So it's a feeling, it's a protector, it's a guide. Yeah.
Yeah, and you won't know until you enter that field.
Ooh, I love it. I love that. Now, um, do you have any projects coming up in the movie world? Something exciting? Are you working? You don't have to share if you don't, because I do understand NDAs. But uh, do you still looking forward to pursuing that passion of yours into the future in the movie industry?
Yes, like I said, I have Static Codes out. Stealing Pulp Fiction is coming out in a couple of months. That's a great project. Through all those producers and different teams that I have that are separate, by the way, they're not the exact same team. They're very different people. So you know, through those projects, I'm being pitched on some other things. I haven't jumped on anything yet, but I'm sure I will when the right feeling and the right intellect meet. I'll have future movie projects, but I've been approached for different things and different roles that are outside of me just investing.
But what I hear, and I'm sure many others hear, is the power of proximity. Because you said the keyword, you said, now I am being approached. And if you can agree with me or disagree with me, but the way I see it is, it started with you taking the first step to become an investor, to plug yourself or plant yourself as a seed in a new environment. And now we have this tree, and now there's fruits being harvested from this tree that you became as a result, because that the tree is the movie. But now others are seeing you, and now they're approaching you, because guess what, now they know that you exist. But would they know that you existed unless you took the first action to actually show up for you?
Mhm.
and
You
and
have to, yeah,
and,
you ha-
and
you have to take the first step. If you look, if you're hiding in your closet, no one knows you.
so true. So I'm big on the power of proximity. And um, I was at a dinner table, very intimate dinner table, where someone asked me, how much have you invested in Grant Cardone? I looked at that person, and there were a lot of people in that table, and one of those people was someone I met at a Grant Cardone, and he turned out to be nowadays one of my best friends. I said, well, let me tell you how much Grant Cardone has invested in me. He's like, what do you mean? I thought you buy into the programs. I said, no, no, no. He said, what Grant Cardone has invested in me, it's priceless. He said, well, tell me more. I said, look at, and then I mentioned the person's name. That was, I think mom was in front of me. My mom was in front of me. Actually, my friend was right next to me, and his daughter was on the other side of me. I said, look, Grant Cardone got me X. Grant Cardone got me Dr. Slava. He got me A, B, C, D, E. I said, I know thousands of people as a result of Grant Cardone going to work every day, working very hard. As far as I'm concerned, Grant Cardone works for me. I don't work for him. And when Grant Cardone stops working, ooh, I have a problem with that. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, I have a big problem with my mentors, the Grant Cardones. Dr. Slava is another mentor of mine. When Dr. Slava stops showing up in the world the way that I look up to him and I want him to show up in the world, I have a big problem with that. I have a huge problem with that. So when I invest, I make my investment decision for me
Right.
based on who are the people in those ecosystems that are being attracted by Grant, by Dr. Slava, or you coming into my mentorship program. You would base your decision, one, because you have an idea who I am, but most importantly, you already know me. You have access to me. I know Grant. I have access to Grant, but why should I stop there?
No.
I want to have access to Grant's ecosystem because I met you in the real estate club, correct?
Correct.
So I invested in you. You don't know that. You And you don't, because you also don't know that you invested in me. You thought that you invested in the club because you were going to learn about multifamily. Little did you know that you would have invested in 600 plus people at the time that you and I both invested in ourselves. So this is why I want to pretty much conclude today's I guess conversation that you and I are having by giving that strong message to anyone who's listening out there that the power of proximity is is real,
Yep.
is real. And I love hearing this from you, that now you are being offered more opportunities as a result of you showing up, investing in yourself, and letting the world know who you are, that you exist. And it's no different in the real estate world, it's no different in the physical therapy world, and it's no different in anything and everything life. So I just wanted to share that story with you. And I know you smiled when I said Grant Cardone goes to work for us every day. He knows it. I tell him too. I mean, it's no secret. He's like, yeah. And he's like, absolutely. I do. And that's why I go to work every day. And I see that you go to work every day, because now I hear you're the doctor. First and foremost, you show up for your family beautifully. And then you show up for the people in the club. That's another ecosystem. Then you show up in the WhatsApp groups. But now you are a business financial advisor, and you just offered people the opportunity to reach out to you, work with you, partner with you, learn and earn.
Yep.
What an amazing combination, right? Learning and earning. And then you are in the movies, you are an investor. So anyone out there is probably going to reach out to you and say, hey, I have this deal, you want to become an investor? I'm sure that's going to happen. So you just gave permission to people to reach out to you, because you're saying, I am approachable, I have an open mind, I do my own due diligence, but come to me, ask me, let me know, because look, I ask all the time, and look where it got me.
Yep.
And I'm just so fascinated by this whole the power of connecting. And that's why I'm so excited about my mentorship program, because it's from limited to limitless, the art of networking.
Yep.
And not just going and hugging someone or shaking someone's hand that's going to get you that overnight success that you mentioned earlier, but a lot of nurturing in the process, and
Absolutely.
applying your instinct each and every time. Take that instinct with you everywhere. Well, clearly it's with you everywhere you go. Don't ignore it. And I always say our instinct never fails us, we fail it over and over and over. It never fails us. Like, that's my line. And I quote myself because it's so true, because I'm guilty of that as well. But it is what it is, we're humans. And what would be, Dr. Slava, a message you want to leave us all with today, so we can carry with us for the weekend and as we go on in the world? Something that even if one person were to hear it, you would inspire them, like either words of encouragement or kick someone in the butt and tell them, wake up. Like, whichever direction you want to take this, the floor is yours. Close us out with after the tip.
I appreciate it. So basically, the thing that I want to say to people is dare to dream. Dream big. Dream bigger than you've ever had. When we were little, we dreamed big, and then we lost it as adults. We had all these things come to us. I can't dream. I'm an adult now. That's wrong. Dare to dream big, and then make a decision. Decisions dictate directions. If you've made a decision to change your life, to change your habits, to change who you are, to be the best version you could be, dream, have a vision into the future, make a decision, then take massive action. You could have everything you want to have. You want a big house, you want an amazing spouse, you want
Awesome
have money
friends.
and
Awesome
cars,
friends.
awesome friends. Like,
Yeah.
you could have everything. You could have everything your heart dreams about. If you could dream it, you could have it.
You can achieve it. If you dream it, you can achieve it.
Absolutely.
I love that decisions dictate directions. I love it.
Absolutely.
I love
So if
that.
you make a decision to change your life, you can. If you
Mm,
make a decision to do good, you can. If you
mm.
make a decision to be obsessed about other people, you will help enormous amount. You have ripple after ripple after ripple, like throwing a rock makes more ripples after ripple after ripple into the ocean. You could do it. You could achieve it if you dream it.
I love it. And lastly, your podcast. Are you accepting new guests? Are you overbooked at the moment? Do we use this website to look you up and book ourselves, or do we go through your social medias if someone wants to be a guest on your podcast? Because I was, and it was awesome. So for anyone out there who wants to be on Dr. Slava's podcast, he has one clearly. I didn't just create it for him. But you can DM me, right, Dr. Slava?
Yeah, listen, you could DM me for anything. You need health advice? Do that. You want financial advice? DM me. You want to be on the Time Is Now podcast with Dr. Slava? You could do that. Just DM. Don't hide in your closet. Don't hide under your bed. Get out from under the covers. Get out of bed. Take a shower. Brush your teeth. Look nice. Dress nice. Smell nice. And go DM me because we can make things happen. And definitely contact McGenna. You want to be the best person to connect people. You gotta go through McGenna's program. Basically, you'll come out as like basically Grant Cardone will be
Jewish
your employee.
grandmother. You're gonna come out a Jewish grandmother, so think twice.
No, you could be. You want to be a Jewish grandmother that connects the world and have people like Grant Cardone as your employee. Fantastic. That's
Oh
what you
my
do.
god! Oh, that's good. Actually, I'm gonna clip this. Granny's gonna be like, I'm gonna block her. I am going to block her. I love it. I brought us much more closer because I want the people to get a better visual of the two of us. This has been phenomenal. I mean, I had a lot of fun. I don't know about
Yes,
you. I had a
always.
great time. And of course, we're going to bring you back on the show because I love seeing the evolution of Dr. Slava. And of course, because, hey, he has so many movies coming up. He's going to be so famous very soon. And it's going to be very difficult to catch him. So I think you should still catch him while he's in the early stages of the Hollywood doctor, right? Oh, I like that, the Hollywood doctor. And yeah, you just want to connect with him now. So, by the time he gets super busy to even give an autograph, you don't want to miss the boat, right? Just be part of the boat. That's what I say. If you don't want to miss the boat, be part of the boat. And I think that's a pretty cool message to end this with. And I am so excited for everyone who was here with us today because it was super fun, phenomenal, educational, inspirational, motivational, all things live. And I am now a better person because I participated in this session of all things live with Dr. Slava minus the drugs.
Exactly.
Have a good
Drugs
day.
free and natural.
Yeah, don't leave Dr. Slava. I'm going to end the stream, but you and I will talk for 2 seconds.
Okay.
Have a great day, everybody.
Bye, everybody.